My wife met her trainer for coffee. So, some 2 odd years ago, my wife of 8 years, 38 female, and myself, 37 male, had a major fight. At the beginning of COVID, my wife wanted to help her cousin in Toronto, Canada, whose husband owns a gym, by signing up for personal training via video chat. We live in the US on the West Coast, so she signed up to work with a trainer, 30s male, that is not her cousin's husband, and did so on and off for a few years. She was pretty pleased with the results, but didn't stay dedicated to it. After a couple of years, I tried to give his services a go, and didn't really like the workouts. I stopped doing the sessions and following his routines. These sessions lasted maybe 2 months for me. Fast forward to early 2023, and we have a 1-year-old daughter now. Due to pregnancy, my wife had not had any personal training sessions for quite some time. The trainer had contacted her and let her know he would be visiting our city and wanted to meet up for coffee. I told her I wasn't really comfortable with it, and I didn't want her to meet him in person. I really didn't understand the need to do so, but she insisted. I was upset that I wasn't contacted as well, seeing as how I worked with him also. At no point was I invited either. After a small spat, I believed she was no longer going to have coffee with her trainer. I was wrong. The next day, she went to meet him for coffee, and they walked around town together for an hour or so. I was enraged by this, and we had a very toxic argument that evening. I expressed my anger about her going on a date with another man. She insisted it was not a date. We went back and forth for some time, angrily. For some perspective, my wife and I do not curse at each other and rarely stoop to name-calling. That night, I kept to myself and drank a bottle of scotch and smoked some cigarettes, a habit I kicked a decade ago. I understand that the self-destructive behavior is toxic, and I know I have issues. The topic of the coffee date is the situation I am looking for clarity on. The next few days, we discussed divorce and failed to reach resolution on the disagreement. I vehemently believed that it was a breach of trust and inappropriate behavior for a married person. After another week, we decided to work on our marriage and seek counseling, which never really came to fruition. We just kind of put the argument on the back burner and pretended like it didn't happen. Well, recently, my wife helped the trainer film an advertisement for his business, and he sent her some company swag, like a water bottle, etc. I get extremely mad just seeing the damn water bottle in my house. Recently, the coffee date issue came up in an argument as the example of me being paranoid or jealous. This is the one example of this in our 8-year marriage. I stood my ground that it was not paranoia. Rather, it was an inappropriate coffee date that still upsets me to this day. So I thought I would bring it to Reddit and get some insight from other people on which one of us is in the wrong. Is it both of us? Probably. Am I the red flag?